Stop.
Okay. Infinity Athletics makeup season 2016-2017. So the makeup for the season is pretty much the same as last season's. If you're new, this will be all new. If you're not new, there's some tricks that we've learned along the way to make it easier and quicker to get your athlete's makeup done. It is a smoky eye, so if you don't wear a lot of makeup often, it can get a little difficult and a little crazy to do because it gets so dark so quickly. So I figured I'd add in a few tricks and tips to try to help it be a little easier. The makeup will look like, close your eye, this eye when you're done. And then I'll show you on Peyton's other eye. Okay, your kit comes with both the gray and the white eyeshadow.
It comes in a palette now.
It comes in a palette?
It comes in a palette.
Okay, well there's still a gray and a white. And it comes with a primer base. Not this one, because I think this was the year before. But it's a beige color primer.
Maybe a different one now, because I don't really know.
Well,
We should have asked Sarah for hers, because she got the whole thing.
it'll come with a beige primer. The problem with the beige primer is it works great underneath the gray eyeshadow, but it works terrible underneath the white. If you put a beige primer underneath a white eyeshadow, the eyeshadow comes out kind of taupe colored, not white. The easiest thing to do is stick an eye crayon in white underneath it. I have one that NYX makes. It's super inexpensive. You can get it at Ulta, but it's white and it spreads on the eye and primes for the shadow the same way, but it keeps your eyeshadow white. So if you want to pick up one of those, it will make that part way easier. If you aren't going to, I would be very minimal with the primer on the inside edge so that you don't turn the white shadow to beige colored. Okay, Peyton already has mascara on. Close your eye. But typically your child wouldn't have anything on their eyes at this point. So all you want to do, if you have the white primer, close your eyes. You want to go from the middle of the eyelid out and leave this inner corner of the eyelid alone. If you don't have the white primer, I would just be very sparing with the primer towards the inner corner, because like I said, it's not gonna keep your eyeshadow white because the primer's got color to it. If you put a white base underneath a white shadow, it will stay white. So if you do the white primer, like this one that comes in the stick, you just kind of draw it onto their eye, and this one you'll just want to keep in the inner corner where you're going to put the white shadow down. You want to ring it, look up a little bit underneath their eye so that that whole inner corner stays real light, because the last thing you want is to put dark shadows on the inner corner of your child's eye. They're going to look like they got punched in the face. Okay, so then I just kind of press it, let my hand warm it up a little bit, so you can clearly see the difference between the beige primer and the white primer. So once you have the primer on, you're going to want to do the dark eyeshadow. Close. Okay, so the point of the dark eyeshadow is to get it in this V shape. If you're not comfortable doing that just free-handed, there's easy ways to kind of fake it. The easiest is to just take just a regular Kleenex, fold it, and what you want to do, can you just stop with the Snapchatting for 5 seconds? Get a sharp edge, take that edge, and bring it up where your child's under lash line is, lay it along there, and then just bring it up along the side of their face and hold on to it. That will block anything below it from getting the dark shadow, so that you can just easily make that shape without getting the dark shadow everywhere. Don't put a lot of shadow on the brush because it is a lot. And if you get a lot of shadow right away, it's going to go everywhere. It's going to be all the way down their face and it's going to look crazy. So if you just put a little bit on, if you need more, get more, but start with less. And you only want to go about halfway, and you want the shadow to be darker on the outside edge than the inside edge. That way when you take this away, you have that shape that you're trying to get without having to do that free-handed. Once you have the dark shadow on, take the light shadow and place it on the whole inner corner coming into about halfway. I would not suggest blending your two shadows together with your white brush because you're just going to start to send the dark color everywhere. The best way to do it is to just get a separate clean brush and blend the two colors together. Close for me. So you just kind of want to buff back and forth so that the two colors blend and you don't go from one color straight into the other, but it lightens and blends outward. Once you have the two colors blended in the center, you'll just want to soften up the edges of the dark outside color so that it's not quite as harsh. Close. This is why I should just use Laney.
Huh?
Okay, so once you have it all blended in, you'll want to put a little bit of eyeliner along the edge of the eyelid. If you want, you can make it a little thicker towards the outside edge and bring it up slightly to follow the same line so that it has sort of a wing. On the younger kids, you can just leave it right along the edge of the lash line. Then you want to put a little bit, look up, along the bottom lash line so that it doesn't look empty compared to all the heavy stuff that you have up top. The idea is to make the eyes noticeable on stage, so you want to have a little below to make it noticeable. Okay, then you would want to add mascara, some blush so they don't look washed out. Whatever blush looks right on your child. And then the lipstick that came with your kit. The lipstick works best with a lip brush and not just putting it on because it is a bright color, and if
people
you
need to use it, cleaning up.
if you get crazy with the lipstick, it will stain their skin because it is a pretty dark lipstick. So just, you know, any kind of lip brush works good for putting the lipstick on.
When did we have this?
Okay, so when it's all done, hair and makeup, that's the goal for being competition ready, minus the earrings and the necklace.